Africa as Tigers take 4 early wickets. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Tasuma Tassim welcoming you to News at 10. You've just heard the headlines, now moving on to the details.
তোমাদের দায়িত্ব জ্ঞান থাকা প্রয়োজন তা না হলে জীবনে মানুষ হতে পারবে না শৃঙ্খলা ছাড়া কোনো জাতি জীবনে বড় হতে পারে না
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina returned home from New Delhi tonight after attending the oath-taking ceremony of Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister of India for a third consecutive term. A special flight of Biman Bangladesh Airlines carrying the Prime Minister and her entourage landed at Hazrat Shah Jalan International Airport in Dhaka at 7:15 p.m. this evening. Sheikh Hasina went to New Delhi on Saturday to attend the sworn-in ceremony of the cabinet of Modi government at her Indian counterpart's invitation. During her stay in New Delhi, the Prime Minister held a tete-a-tete with Narendra Modi at Rashtrapati Bhavan yesterday. Later, President of Sri Lanka Ranil Wickremesinghe held a meeting with the Bangladesh Premier. Union Minister of India and its former External Affairs Minister Subrahmanyam Jaishankar also paid a call on the Bangladesh Premier in New Delhi. On Sunday morning, the Prime Minister met with BJP senior leader L.K. Advani at his New Delhi residence and exchanged pleasantries. Earlier, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina left New Delhi at 4:45 p.m. local time. Secretary East Ministry of External Affairs of India Jaideep Majumdar, Indian High Commissioner in Dhaka Pranay Verma and Bangladesh High Commissioner in New Delhi Mohammad Mustafizur Rahman saw the premiere of at T Palm Air Force Station, the VVIP airport in New Delhi. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her Indian counterpart Narendra Modi have expressed their desire that the existing bilateral relations between the two neighboring countries would be deepened further. The expectations came from an one-to-one meeting between the two newly elected prime ministers after the swearing-in ceremony of the cabinet of Modi government on Sunday evening. After the meeting, Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood briefed the reporters. He said during the meeting, which was held in a very warm and friendly relation, Bangladesh Prime Minister invited her Indian counterpart to visit Bangladesh at his convenient time. Hassan Mahmood said the bilateral relation between Bangladesh and India have reached a new height under the prudent leadership of Sheikh Hasina and Narendra Modi. The Foreign Minister said they later attended the banquet hosted by President Draupadi Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Bangladesh High Commissioner to India Mohammad Mustafizur Rahman and Prime Minister's Press Secretary M. Naimul Islam Khan were present during the briefing.
বৈঠকে মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী শ্রী নরেন্দ্র মোদী তৃতীয়বারের মতো ভারতের প্রধানমন্ত্রী নির্বাচিত হওয়ায় তাকে অভিনন্দন জানান, বাংলাদেশে যাওয়ার আমন্ত্রণ জানিয়েছেন। আপনারা জানেন যে মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী বঙ্গবন্ধু কন্যা জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনার নেতৃত্বে এবং ভারতের মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী শ্রী নরেন্দ্র মোদীর নেতৃত্বে আমাদের দুই দেশের সম্পর্ক নতুন উচ্চতা উন্নীত হয়েছে। মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনা তিনি নতুনভাবে নির্বাচিত এবং শপথ গ্রহণের পরপর তার সাথে যে বৈঠক অনুষ্ঠিত হয়েছে সেখানে ভবিষ্যতের দিনগুলোতে আমাদের দুই দেশের সম্পর্ক আরো গভীর হবে বলে আশাবাদ ব্যক্ত করেছেন। আমাদের দুই দেশের বহুমাত্রিক সম্পর্ক এবং দুই দেশের মধ্যে অনেকগুলো বিষয় আছে। যেহেতু একই সরকারের ধারাবাহিকতা, সুতরাং কাজ করার ক্ষেত্রে সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের কিছু বাড়তি সুবিধাও রয়েছে। বাংলাদেশেও একই সরকার, ভারতেও একই সরকার, সুতরাং কাজের ধারাবাহিকতার ক্ষেত্রে কিছু সুবিধা রয়েছে এবং দুই দেশের সম্পর্কের মাধ্যমে আমাদের উভয় দেশের মানুষ কিন্তু উপকৃত হচ্ছে, বিশেষ করে কানেক্টিভিটির ক্ষেত্রে এবং অন্যান্য ক্ষেত্রে। কারণ ভবিষ্যতের দিনগুলোতেও আমাদের যে বহুমাত্রিক সম্পর্ক সেটি আরো বিস্তৃত হবে এবং আমাদের যে গভীর আন্তরিকতাপূর্ণ সম্পর্ক সেই সম্পর্ক আরো গভীরীভূত হবে।
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina sought Sri Lankan investment in Bangladesh's tourism sector for mutual benefits of the two friendly countries. She made the appeal at a courtesy meeting with President of Sri Lanka Ranil Wickremesinghe at her place of residence in New Delhi this morning. While briefing, Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood said during the meeting the two leaders also had a detailed discussion on mutual cooperation in tourism, agriculture and maritime sectors. The Sri Lankan president thanked the Bangladesh premier to help his country financially in their critical time. Senior Foreign Secretary Masood bin Momen and Press Secretary to the Prime Minister M. Naimul Islam Khan were present at the briefing. Later, Indian Union Cabinet Minister and former External Affairs Minister Subrahmanyanam Jaishankar paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood said Bangladesh Prime Minister and Jaishankar discussed in detail about the bilateral relation between the two friendly countries. They expressed their desire to elevate the relation further in the days to come, he said. The Indian minister said the relation between the two countries have reached a new height.
মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীর সাথে শ্রীলঙ্কার মহামান্য রাষ্ট্রপতি রনিল বিক্রমসিংহে সাক্ষাৎ করেন। সৌজন্য সাক্ষাৎ হলো, সেখানে দুই দেশের পারস্পরিক সম্পর্ক নিয়ে বিস্তারিত আলোচনা হয় এবং একই সাথে কৃষি ক্ষেত্রে এবং ট্যুরিজম ক্ষেত্রে সহযোগিতা, কিভাবে বাংলাদেশে ট্যুরিজমের ক্ষেত্রে শ্রীলঙ্কার ইনভেস্টমেন্ট আসতে পারে এবং মেরিটাইম সেক্টরে আমরা কিভাবে সহযোগিতা করতে পারি, এই নিয়ে বিস্তারিত আলোচনা হয়েছে। মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীর সাথে ভারতের ইউনিয়ন মিনিস্টার জয়শঙ্কর দেখা করেছেন। এটিও সৈন্য সাক্ষাৎ ছিল। দুই দেশের বন্ধুত্বপূর্ণ সম্পর্ক, পারস্পরিক যে উষ্ণ সম্পর্ক, সে নিয়ে বিস্তারিত আলোচনা হয়েছে এবং এই সম্পর্ককে আরো এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাওয়ার ব্যাপারে জয়শঙ্কর এবং মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী আশাবাদ ব্যক্ত করেছেন।
President Mohammad Shahabuddin asked the government employees to discharge their duties with honesty and sincerity, being imbued with the spirit of patriotism. He gave the directive while exchanging views with government officials of Pabna district at Circuit House this noon on the second day of his visit to Pabna. President's Press Secretary Mohammad Jainal Abidin said during the view exchange, the government employees highlighted various aspects of development projects in Pabna. President Mohammad Shahabuddin asked them to ensure quality of the work and complete the projects at the scheduled time. He also asked to be more vigilant so that people are not harmed in any way during accepting and implementing projects. The President stressed on ensuring that the government money is spent properly. President Mohammad Shahabuddin asked the government employees to give highest priority to public interest while discharging their duties. Secretaries to the President were present.
ইনিশিয়েটিভ শেখ হাসিনা, এই নামে কিন্তু এই কমিউনিটি ক্লিনিকের কাজগুলো চলছে। কমিউনিটি ক্লিনিকের ব্যাপারে কোনো অবহেলা করবেন না এবং পুরাপুরি আপনি নজর দিবেন, কেননা এটার উপরে অনারেবল প্রাইম মিনিস্টার অত্যন্ত আগ্রহী। ইছাবতী নদী, এটা একনেকে যখন পাশ হয় তখন 1 নম্বরে এটা ছিল। মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী এটা দেখেই বললেন যে এটা ভালো প্রজেক্ট, আমি এটাকে করব, অবশ্যই করব এটা ইছামতি প্রজেক্ট। উনি কিন্তু খুব আগ্রহ ভরে এটাকে উনি অনুমোদন দিয়েছেন।
Earlier, President Mohammad Shahabuddin visited the graves of his parents at the Shodor graveyard in Arifpur of Pabna district. He offered dua and special munajat seeking divine blessings for the departed souls of his father, mother, parents-in-law and family members.
আল্লাহ আপনার কাছে ভিক্ষা চাচ্ছি, আল্লাহ তাকে আপনি সুস্থ রাখুন, দীর্ঘায়ু দিন। লা ইলাহা ইল্লাল্লাহ মুহাম্মাদুর রাসূলুল্লাহ।
Jatiya Sangsad passed supplementary budget for fiscal 2023-2024 today. Finance Minister Abul Hassan Mahmood Ali introduced the Appropriation Supplementary Bill 2024 at the House, through which the supplementary budget was passed. With the passing of the bill, 22 ministries, divisions and other institutions will get 37,817 crore taka as supplementary budget to meet the increased expenditure in the current fiscal. Earlier sitting of the House started with Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry in the chair. At the beginning of the meeting, the scheduled question-answer session was placed on the table. Later, Finance Minister Abul Hassan Mahmood Ali delivered his concluding speech on the supplementary budget for fiscal 2023-2024. The minister informed that the government expenditure has reduced 47,367 crore taka in the revised budget for the current fiscal. Later, ministers and state ministers placed their grant demands at the House for the ministries, divisions and institutions concerned. Members of Parliament took part in the cut motion on the grant demands placed by the ministers and state ministers. Under the supplementary budget outlet, the Planning Division got the highest allocation of 12,649 and 33 and 68,000 taka, while the second largest allocation 8,157 crore and 75 lakh and 78,000 taka earmarked for the Ministry of Agriculture. Besides, Ministry of Water Resources got 4,360 crore 11 lakh and 79,000 taka as supplementary budget. The sitting of the House will resume at 4 in the afternoon tomorrow. The Awami League will invite all registered political parties at its founding anniversary programs. Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir said this after a meeting at Awami League President's office in the capital's Dhanmondi today.
বিদেশি যারা কূটনীতিক আছে বিভিন্ন দূতাবাসের তাদের আমরা আমন্ত্রণ জানাবো দলের পক্ষ থেকে বিভিন্ন রাজনৈতিক দলকেও আমরা আমন্ত্রণ জানাবো এটা আমাদের ঐতিহ্য এখানে কে আমাদের প্রতিপক্ষ পক্ষ সেটা আমরা দেখব না রাজনৈতিক দল হিসেবে নিবন্ধিত যে দলগুলো আছে সব দলকে আমরা আমন্ত্রণ বঙ্গবন্ধুর সুযোগ্য কন্যা শেখ হাসিনার নেতৃত্বে আজকে মুক্তির সংগ্রাম ডিজিটাল বাংলাদেশ বিনির্মাণের পর স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ গড়তে আমরা প্রস্তুত হচ্ছি ঠিক এ সময় আমাদের ৭৫ বছর পার্টির প্রতিষ্ঠা বার্ষিকী হচ্ছে তা আমরা সারা দেশে ইউনিয়ন ওয়ার্ড পর্যন্ত আমাদের এই ৭৫ বছর যে উৎসব এটা আমরা উদযাপন করব।
At that time, the Road Transport and Bridges Minister responded to queries from journalists on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's India tour.
ভারতের প্রধানমন্ত্রী গতকাল রাতে তিনি শপথ গ্রহণ করেছেন তারপরে তাদের বৈঠক আছে সে বৈঠক থেকে কোনো গুরুত্বপূর্ণ সিদ্ধান্ত এলে আপনারা জানতে পারবেন মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী নিজেও আসলে তিনি সাংবাদিকদের সাথে মিলিত হবেন এবং সেখানে তিনি বিস্তারিত করবেন তার ভারত সফর।
Earlier, in order to make Awami League founding anniversary program successful, Obaidul Qadir held a meeting with the members of Parliament of Dhaka Metropolitan North and South constituencies as well as mayors of the two cities. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will hand over 18,566 more houses under the Ashran 2 project to landless and homeless families tomorrow as part of the government's target of ensuring housing for the landless and homeless people. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will announce 70 upazilas as landless and homeless free before the Eid ul-Adha through video conferencing. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina first made houses for 160 homeless families in Mehirpur Shodor Upazila in 1998. These 160 houses have been reconstructed with a cost of 4 crore 80 lakh taka. Beneficiaries of the housing project expressed their thanks and gratitude to the Public Administration Minister Farhad Hussain and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. 1,234 families of 3 upazilas in Bhola will get new houses under the Ashran 2 project tomorrow. Bhola Deputy Commissioner said they have prepared a list of 6,356 landless families. Of them, 4,449 families have already got houses. They have also thanked the Prime Minister. On the other hand, 261 landless and homeless families of Cox's Bazar Shodor, Moheshkhali and the newly formed Eidgah Upazila will get houses tomorrow, constructed under the Ashran 2 project. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is scheduled to hand over the houses through video conference. She will also exchange views with the local people of the respective upazilas. All necessary preparations have already been completed to hold the house distribution ceremony. The government has declared 58 districts as landless and homeless. Moving on to international news. Death toll passes 37,000 after a barbaric attack of Israel in Gaza. Gaza's health ministry said Israel's raid on the Nuseirat refugee camp has caused outrage, with the EU calling it a massacre. The death toll has risen to 274, with more than 700 others injured. Doctors described the scenes inside al-Aqsa hospital in central Gaza as a complete bloodbath, with one medic saying the inside of the hospital looks like a slaughterhouse. Israeli forces said they rescued 4 captives held in the attack at the Nuseirat refugee camp amid criticism over the large number of civilian casualties. One Israeli officer died during the deadly raid. Hamas's military spokesman said Israel killed captives in its Nuseirat operation without specifying the circumstances or how many were killed. At least 37,084 people have been killed and 84,494 injured in Israel's war on Gaza since October 7th. Meanwhile, Israeli War on Cabinet Ministry Benny Gantz has quit the emergency government in a sign of deepening divisions over Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's post-conflict plans for Gaza. President Emmanuel Macron has called snap parliamentary elections later this month in the wake of a big victory for his rival Marine Le Pen's national rally in the European Parliament vote. The far-right party is on course to win 32% of the vote, exit polls say, more than twice that of the President Renaissance Party. Announcing the dissolution of Parliament, he said the 2 rounds of voting would take place on 30th June and 7th of July, a few weeks before the Paris Olympics. Macron made the dramatic and surprise decision in a televised address from the Élysée Palace an hour after voting closed and exit polls had been declared in France's EU elections. His decision came not long after National Rally's 28-year-old leader Jordan Bardella openly called on the president to call parliamentary elections. Now, barely 2 years into his second term as president, Mr. Macron already lacks a majority in the French parliament, and though this European vote in theory has no bearing on national politics, he clearly decided that continuing his mandate without a new popular consultation would place too much of a strain on the system. Moving on to news and weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain or thunder showers accompanied by a temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at many places over Rangpur, Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions, and at a few places over Dhaka and Chattogram divisions, and at 1 or 2 places over Rajshahi, Khulna and Borishal divisions. Besides, moderately heavy to heavy falls likely to occur at places over Rangpur, Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions. Night and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country, said the Met Office. Moving on to news on sports. South Africa set a victory target of 114 runs for Bangladesh in the ICC T20 World Cup cricket in New York. South Africa won the toss and decided to bat first. They scored 113 runs for 6 wickets in their stipulated 20 overs. Henry Claassen scored 46 runs for the Proteas. Tanzim Hassan Shakib bagged 3 wickets while Taskin Ahmed took 2 and Rishad Hossain took 1 for the Tigers. Now to end the bulletin, headlines once again. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina returns home from New Delhi after attending Narendra Modi's oath-taking ceremony. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her Indian counterpart Narendra Modi expressed interest to strengthen bilateral relations between the two countries. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina seeks Sri Lankan investment in Bangladesh's tourism sector during a meeting with Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe in New Delhi. President Mohammad Shahabuddin asked public servants to discharge duties with devotion and sincerity, being imbued with patriotism. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will hand over houses to more than 18,500 homeless and landless families across the country tomorrow ahead of Eid. All registered political parties will be invited to Awami League's founding anniversary program, says Obaidul Qadir. Israeli War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz resigns from Netanyahu's emergency government while death toll of Palestinians surpasses 37,000 in Gaza. And in New York, South Africa set a victory target of 114 runs for Bangladesh in T20 World Cup cricket. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us and we invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.